tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
You alright guys? Sorry about those technical issues, sorry about the programme scheduling, but we got a new little series, Little Nibbles. Little Nibbles, it's all about little ideas, little things I can come up with to help you guys. Rigs, with reels, you know, how to set them up. This is going to be the first one. How to literally set up a reel for casting. There's a friend up the line that I've been yapping to on Facebook, and he's just bought himself a nice new fresh little Penn reel, but he's a little bit worried. He doesn't want the birdies. These are pretty user friendly, to be honest, out of the box, but there's a few things you can do to ensure that you don't get those birdies. So that's going to be the first episode of Little Nibbles. One of you might learn something new, you know, even if you think you know it all. I certainly don't think I know it all. Fishing's all about learning, so maybe there might be something, who knows. But I hope you enjoy. Let's get underway with the first episode of Little Nibbles. Just for the record as well, Kerry's quest is still ongoing. We're going to be getting out soon, possibly tonight actually, and also there's going to be plenty more sessions coming up, so you haven't got to worry about that. I'm not just going to be sat in my room doing Little Nibbles. Alright boys, let's see if I can give you some little nibble knowledge about the old Penn reel and how to set them up and make sure we don't get them birdies. So guys, you've bought your fresh brand new Penn mag. Doesn't matter if it's the red one or the gold one. Personally, I like the older ones, to be honest. I'll wait until they come down in price to get the newer ones. But first little tip, you get your box, don't you? You get your box. Keep all of the stuff to maintain your reel in your box. Little screwdriver for it. I've got some lighter fluid. I've got a brush to get some of the crap off. What else have I got in here? Some rocket fuel. Some people say it does the bearings in, so don't use it, but I've had these for a good 3-4 years and they're absolutely flying. Some of that, but that's a different episode of Little Nibbles right there. And then all my little things to go along with it. So keep your maintenance stuff in your box. Lovely job. Then we get on to the reel. This is what we want to know about, innit guys? How to set one up. Out of the box, you can pretty much use it. You don't have to be putting oils and stuff in it. It will go. It'll fly. What we want to do, first things first, we'll go to the little gold knob on the side plate by the reel handle. Alright? We'll tinker around with that. And what we're looking for, turning it down this way, is loosening it up. So what that does, this bit does, is it can loosen this spool so it can move between both side plates. And what we want to get it to is not really loose. We don't want it super loose that we can budge it. I'll explain why this is important in a minute. What we want is we want to tighten him up, and we want this spool, as we pinch it and we try and move it side to side, we want a tiny bit of movement. That's still too much movement. A little bit too much. And that's what I love about these pens, is you can really zone in on it and get it exactly how you want. Doesn't matter which one you pick up, you can go boom, set the mags, use somebody else's and birdie it for them. So I feel as though that's good. You hold it to your ear and you can hear that it's moving and it's got that little click. Pretty much when all this line is peeling off, you imagine that floating spool. If it was tight, it would just stay completely rigid. Any line coming off would just want to knot up as well if it was prone to knotting the line. But with that little bit of freedom there, it can move up and down, it can balance itself, the line can spool off cleanly. So that's that. Second thing you do, you've got your mag there. With your mag, it's got more or less. Well, fully tighten it to more, so it looks like that. And then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to feel the line doesn't come off freely because there's a mag inside here which actually touches. When you tighten up, the mag comes down and touches the magnetic part on this spool, so it slows the rotations because of the magnetic pull. When you loosen it off completely, the magnet raises up away from the spool, so it means that it can freely run as fast as it wants. And that's what happens when you get a bird's nest. You cast it out, the line's pulling out as the lead's slowing down through flight, the spool is still rotating at the same speed, letting off the same amount of line, but there's nothing, the lead isn't pulling it out because it's slowing down in momentum, which will create your bird's nest. What I would do is I'd get out on a field or near the water on a beach somewhere. Make sure you're by yourself. You can't chuck any leads into anybody. Put it on its tightest. I've got that little bit of movement there in the spool. Put the mag on the tightest it can go. Do a gentle lob. Don't try and get the distance straight away, you know, especially if this is the first ever multiplier that you've ever bought. Just aim to get it out cleanly. Then loosen that mag up a few times, cast it again. Bear in mind side winds. If you get a side wind, that wind is pushing and blowing and it's creating a bow in your line this way, which then is creating the revolutions on there, taking it out, and that will create another bird's nest. So that's one thing that people don't think of when they're fishing actually, is side winds and stuff. And the good thing about the mag is that it's adjustable whenever you want. So if you've got a really strong side wind blowing in, tighten it up a touch so that line isn't peeling out, creating another bird's nest with that wind. And what you want to get is you want to get a cast where it hasn't bird's nest, you know, loosen it up as max as you can. And when you start to see that line start to go woo, as though it wants to, tighten that mag up 2 or 3 touches more, and then you're good. Then it's set up for fishing. You want it to. As for lines, when you're first starting out and you've got your nice new reel, put £20 plus on. And the reason you put £20 plus on is because you're just setting him up. You know, you're getting him the way you want to get him. Thinner diameter lines will cast further. But the reason you want a thicker diameter line, £20 plus, is because if you do get a small bird's nest or something, you can pluck it out easier. The line shouldn't be as prone to birdieing. You're good to go. First episode of Little Nibbles done. So, really hope that helped somebody there. Simple stuff, but for somebody who's just bought their first multiplier reel, that's going to help you, especially if it's Penn mag. Next one I think I'm going to do is a drop down pulley rig, I think. Something like that. Bit more of a complex rig, but one I've started using. And yeah, we'll do a bit of rig tying, all in Little Nibbles. Maybe might help you with a little bit of knowledge there. Just real short ones, but tight lines, boys. I will see you. I'll see you at the next episode of proper fishing bites. Or if not, Little Nibbles again by Little Nibbles. Lovely job. Tight lines, guys.